Welcome to Bratislava. Don't worry, you've not clicked on the wrong video, because I am taking a bus across the border of Slovakia to Austria, and we are going to spend around 7 hours in Vienna. So today's video, we're going to find some of the best must-see things to see, and you're coming along with me. Well, we've made it to Vienna, but with only 6 hours here, we start at Stephansplatz, named after the cathedral, St. Stephen's Cathedral behind me. This is the heart and the centre of Vienna. Everything goes out from here. This has been the city centre since medieval times, and it is very hustle and bustle. It's looking great already. Where we're standing right now used to be a Roman military camp. Later on, it became a medieval marketplace. It's seen imperial marches, it's seen bombings, but now it is a place for tourists to come and visit. There are street performers, and it is very, very lively indeed. Okay, the first must-see thing and thing to do is climb the South Tower. Over 300 steps, €6.50 to get up. Let's get walking.
Stay to the side now.
Two things at this point. First of all, if you struggle with your legs and you're maybe a little bit older, this may be a bit tough for you. Everyone coming up here is puffed out, and I'm not at the top yet. I was going to chuck some facts at you, but that might have to wait. More puffed out people. You exhausted? Must continue. Must keep going. Now, this is quite good. We're not even all the way to the top yet, but there's a little breeze. We're going to have some incredible views, I'm in no doubt about that. So we've reached the Watchman's Tower in the South Tower. Now this is 136 metres tall and was the tallest building in Europe for over 400 years. Now this Watchman's Tower used to have someone in here from I think the 1500s up until 1956, and they would look out, see if there was any incidents, any fires and whatnot, and would be able to then report it. You can see this tower from all over the city. There was actually originally meant to be a North Tower that was similar, but it was never complete, so that is why this is not a symmetrical cathedral. It is very much asymmetrical. Interestingly, during World War II, this tower actually mostly stood standing, no problem. The cathedral around it, well, didn't cope so well. But this has lasted through different empires, different eras, and still reigns supreme over the city of Vienna. It's definitely easier coming back down. Right, let's keep going and on to the next location, which you must see. I'm on the Graben, which is an optional must-see. It's not one for me, but this is the shopping spine of Vienna. They even have a Labubu shop. Insane. Now, if you've got money, whether you want to spend big or not, this is potentially a must-see place for you. It is busy, thriving, and there are a lot of different shops for you to look in. Well, we've come to the second must-see location in Vienna. It is the Vienna State Opera, possibly one of the most famous opera houses in the world, bar possibly the Sydney Opera House in Australia. Now, it's on the edge of the city centre, and in my opinion, it looks a little bit understated compared to what's in the city centre. It was built in 1869, and the first performance was a Mozart opera, Don Giovanni. It's said to have incredible acoustics and hosts world-class performances such as opera and ballet and many, many more. Wrong when I say it's a little bit understated. It doesn't necessarily stand out in the city around it. So unfortunately, you cannot just walk in for free to take a look. The options are you have to buy a guided tour for 15 euros, or for even less, you can get a performance ticket, which allows you to have a look as well. So that I certainly recommend. However, obviously, because I am on a time limit restraints for today, I'm gonna have to skip it. But looking from the outside certainly sets the scene and doesn't give too much away for you guys visiting Vienna. Welcome to Naschmarkt. This is destination number 3 that you must come to. This is one of the most famous markets in Vienna. It stretches 1.5 kilometers with over 100 stalls and restaurants. Now, you think of grandeur when you think of Vienna, but this is not it. You can get anything from Asian food, Turkish food, Austrian food, everything you can think of, you can get here. When the Naschmarkt was created in the 16th century, it was originally for milk and other produce. Now you will find locals having their lunch here, tourists exploring as well. Now, interestingly, Naschen, which is a German term, means nibble or to snack, and that is something you can very much do here. Well, as the German saying is to snack and nibble, first one. This is a cherry cheesecake, which is in a pastry, so let's give it a go. It's cold. Just check that out. Oh, okay, I've got to have another bite, just to make sure. It's very, very good. The cheesecake, creamy. A little bit of texture to it as well. With the pastry around the outside. That is the number one thing I'm starting with. There will be more. And because I'm an adult, I can start with sweet. Savoury can come later. So the eating continues. Chicken schnitzel and chips. Now, there are so many different places to check out in terms of food that it was hard to decide where to sit down and eat. This is where I've chosen. I've even met myself a Mexican friend. Hang on, you're going to be on camera now. There you go. Here's Ruben, or what's it in?
Yeah, Ruben.
Ruben, we'll stick Ruben in English. Also traveling on his own around Europe for 3 weeks. So I've got a little bit of company while I eat. Right, I'm going to get stuck into this schnitzel. And I will see you in the next must-see location. Well, that was lovely. I'm on to my next stop, going into the underground, going to catch the U1 to the next stop. But I do stress, it is so nice. Don't get me wrong, I love traveling with Charlie, but it is so nice traveling on your own because you get experiences like I just had, where you sit down with another traveler, someone who's on their own, and you just chat about where they're going, what you're doing. You can eat what you like, you can go where you like, when you like. It is amazing. So I highly recommend traveling on your own. Let's go. We've arrived at our next must-see location here in Vienna. This is Belvedere Palace. It was once the summer home of a prince, but now it is one of the most beautiful locations in Vienna. So Belvedere Palace is actually 2 palaces. It's obviously the main upper Belvedere Palace, but also down the bottom of the gardens, there is the lower Belvedere Palace. Now this was built in the early 1700s and it was for Eugene of Savoy. Now, this was during the time of the Habsburgs, and at this time, everyone, all the royals and all the nobles, they wanted to show off. They wanted to show that they had the best. And Mr. Eugene, he certainly wanted to outdo the emperor at the time. I would suggest that these gardens have probably seen better days, especially when it was formed. Now, they were created in a French style, like a mini Versailles, to join the upper and lower Belvedere Palace. These gardens have lots of fountains, cascading fountains. They have lots of mystical figures as well, which I'm going to show you a few more. I also see there's a lot of men wrestling these mythical creatures. Maybe that's a sign of, I don't know, men's power over everything, or, you know, just to show that dominance possibly. But let me show you some of these creatures. You can see here, there's almost like mermaid creatures here, right in the middle, maybe like sirens, I don't know. But then you've got the two men that are wrestling these crocodile lizard type creatures. And now this is just one piece here in this water feature. There are so many more of these mythical creatures. Well, right here you have the guardians of the palace and the gardens. These are not Egyptian sphinx. These are Belvederian reimaginations of sphinx. Half lion, half woman. I don't know if I should censor her boobs or not, I'm not sure. But these are typical. There are quite a few of these protecting the grounds from all those baddies coming to take the palace off Eugene of Savoy. Also, they've got an upgraded version of my robot lawnmower. Nice, very impressive. But they do have a little bit more grass to cut. These palaces and gardens are not just about the power that Eugene of Savoy had. It was about the flamboyance. It was about how amazing and wonderful and how much better he can make it look over all of the other higher-ups and nobles in the area. But the flamboyance, isn't that just Vienna in general? Look at Mozart. He wasn't just a musician. He walked around like a walking chandelier. Klimt, he wasn't just an artist painting golden kisses. He was a rock star. That is Vienna, and this sums it up perfectly. If there was a theme tune for Vienna, it is probably created by this man, Johann Strauss, the Waltz King. This is probably one of the most photographed spots. I've just seen lots of people standing next to him having their photo taken. Now, with his music, he was able to create a party. Now, that sums up these locations that we've been to, whether it's the palaces, the gardens, or even the markets. That is the vibe coming from Vienna. 6 hours later, sore legs. We've seen violinists made of gold. We've seen palaces, gardens, markets, cathedrals. 343 steps up. I am exhausted. 6 hours has flown by, a very quick stop. But I hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully it's given you some inspiration of places to visit in Vienna. I'm off back to Bratislava. Make sure you like and subscribe for future episodes. Auf Wiedersehen.